Most people believe evil announces itself loudly. That danger looks suspicious, that monsters hide in dark alleys. But sometimes evil knocks softly. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it asks for help. And sometimes it walks right into your home and waits. This is one of those stories. A story that shook America. A story that changed how parents everywhere thought about safety. A story that nearly ended in tragedy, but didn't. Because this is not just a kidnapping story. This is a survival story. This is the story of Elizabeth Smart. It was the early morning hours of June 5th, 2002, in Salt Lake City, Utah. The Smart household was quiet. No alarms, no signs of danger. 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart was asleep in her bedroom, sharing the room with her 9-year-old sister Mary Catherine. Elizabeth had just finished middle school. Summer break was days away. Her biggest concerns were school, music practice, and family plans. She had no idea this night would divide her life into before and after. Between 1 and 2 a.m., a man cut through a window screen and entered the home. He carried a knife. He knew where he was going. Mary Catherine woke to a whisper. "I have a knife at your neck. Don't make a sound or I'll kill you and your family." Frozen with fear, Mary Catherine pretended to sleep. She heard her sister being led away. She heard footsteps fade into the night. When morning came, Elizabeth was gone. Panic erupted. Doors flew open. Lights snapped on. Her name echoed through the house. Finally, Mary Catherine whispered the words no parent should ever hear. "She's gone." A man took her. Police were called immediately. Within hours, helicopters circled overhead. Search dogs scoured the hills. Volunteers poured into the neighborhood. Elizabeth's photo spread across television screens nationwide. America watched, hoping for a miracle. Elizabeth Ann Smart was born on November 3, 1987, into a close-knit family built on faith, love, and discipline. She was the second oldest of 6 children, raised with strong values, kindness, responsibility, and compassion. Elizabeth was shy, soft-spoken, and exceptionally talented. At just 5 years old, she discovered the harp. Music became her refuge. She practiced for hours every day, fingers gliding across the strings. By middle school, she was performing at weddings, funerals, and official events. Friends described her as gentle and obedient. She loved reading, riding horses, and helping her siblings. Her dreams were simple: college, marriage, children, a peaceful life. The Smart family lived in Federal Heights, one of Salt Lake City's safest neighborhoods. Doors were sometimes left unlocked. Danger felt distant. 7 months before the abduction, Elizabeth's mother encountered a panhandler downtown. He called himself Emmanuel. Feeling compassion, she gave him money and later offered him small repair jobs at their home. He spent only a few hours there, but he watched. He learned the layout. He remembered the bedrooms. His real name was Brian David Mitchell. On June 4, 2002, Elizabeth performed her harp at a school awards ceremony. She was recognized for academic excellence and character. That night the family celebrated. Hours later, Mitchell returned. While America searched desperately, Elizabeth was already being dragged into a nightmare only miles away. Mitchell forced Elizabeth to walk miles into the mountains behind her home, barefoot, wearing only her pajamas. Waiting for them was Mitchell's wife, Wanda Bazi. Mitchell believed he was a prophet, chosen by God. He believed God commanded him to take young girls as wives. Bazi believed him. That very night, Mitchell declared Elizabeth his wife in a twisted ceremony. She was chained between trees with a metal cable. She was starved, isolated, and beaten. She was raped repeatedly, sometimes multiple times a day. She was forced to drink alcohol and wear robes and veils to hide her identity. Mitchell controlled her through terror. He told her if she screamed, her family would be murdered. He told her God approved of everything he did. Elizabeth later described feeling less than human, completely powerless. At times she felt suicidal, but she survived. She survived by praying silently, by replaying harp music in her mind, by holding on to memories of her family, by focusing on one goal, staying alive. For weeks they remained hidden in the mountains. Search teams passed nearby. Elizabeth heard people calling her name. Dogs barked in the distance. Rescue was close, but fear kept her silent. As months passed, Mitchell became bolder. They moved between camps, cities, and states. They hitchhiked. They lived under bridges and in public campsites. Elizabeth was forced to accompany them in public, disguised head to toe. People saw her. No one recognized her. Once inside a public library, a detective questioned them. Something felt wrong. Mitchell claimed religious reasons for Elizabeth's appearance. Elizabeth stayed silent. Another chance slipped away. Back home, hope was fading. Suspects were arrested and released. Leads went cold. The reward money grew. Pink ribbons, Elizabeth's favorite color, appeared everywhere across Utah. Then a breakthrough. Mary Catherine suddenly remembered something she hadn't before, the voice from that night. The name the man used. Emmanuel. Police connected the dots. Brian David Mitchell's photo was broadcast nationwide. On March 12, 2003, 279, days after the abduction, Mitchell, Barzee, and Elizabeth were walking down a street in Sandy, Utah. Two separate couples recognized Mitchell from television. They didn't confront him. They quietly called police. Police approached. Elizabeth denied her identity at first. She was terrified, brainwashed, conditioned to lie. But when separated from Mitchell and questioned privately, she whispered the truth. She was Elizabeth Smart. The nation erupted in relief. Her reunion with her parents was raw and emotional. Tears, disbelief, and overwhelming gratitude. The legal battle lasted years. Mitchell delayed proceedings and displayed erratic behavior in court. Eventually, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Wanda Barzee served time and was later released, a decision Elizabeth publicly opposed. Elizabeth refused to let trauma define her. She returned to school, graduated college, married, and became a mother. She wrote her memoir, My Story, and dedicated her life to helping survivors of abuse and abduction. Today, Elizabeth Smart is a global advocate for healing, self-worth, and survival. Her message is simple. What happened to you does not define you. Survival is strength. Healing is possible. This is proof that even in the darkest captivity, hope can survive. That evil does not always win. That miracles can happen in plain sight. If this story moved you, share it. Awareness saves lives. And never lose faith.